I'm Mrs. Adiotomre Sandra. I'm calling from Warri, Delta State. I came across Tech School on Instagram. I needed something that would not just be the regular coding and robotics we hear of everywhere,
Mm,
considering the present world of work, which is
yeah,
tech.
yeah,
Yeah, the traditional learning system has phased off. So for everyone to be employable, you need at least a level of the ICT background. Yeah, so that was my interest. I've always, and I think you said catch them young,
yeah.
and they're young now. So I just thought it would be wise for them to get busy with it so they understand maybe at a particular time the direction they want to go into. Tech is broad, tech is very broad, but the foundation would help them navigate properly. So I think that was what pushed me into getting my kids registered in tech school. I would say tech school is a balanced academy. I use the word balanced curriculum for academy for a reason.
Mm,
Like a proper school runs, I'm
yeah,
seeing normally, I've not experienced anything like this. My son has been enrolled in a tech school before,
mm,
but I use the word a balanced curriculum because it's as though he's in a proper school. And that's why I say a balanced academy.
yeah.
Like the structure in the tech school is something I know that was not just, it took different measures, dotting your I's and crossing the T's. So it's not something you just jumped on. For the graphics class, I noticed the tutor there, learning, it's not easy doing a digital class, especially for children. But when you have it, so this is a commendation. So when you have a tutor that is able to carry the students along and is as though they are physically present with him, I commend that particular tutor on that. For my first son, Ubaru, before now, I would tell every other person around me that Ubaru is good with tech. But I realized that he was just knowledgeable. He just had snippets of different things around it. So I saw him struggling to even. I thought it would just be like a one-off for him with what he has known, but I saw he was putting in efforts to get there. So I was
Mhm.
impressed with that. I was impressed that he was not learning the things he already knew. So it took him further and he got excited with it. I think that was a motivation for the younger ones. My daughter Esther has never wanted to do anything tech. Before now, she has always wanted to create a fashion line. She's been saying this for almost 2 years. And she always says, Mommy, I can pick my designs, I can do this. And when they gave her a project, if you can remember, Esther's project is ST fashion line.
Wow.
So yeah, so you see, I never saw fashion and tech coming together, but with the graphics design, I saw how she was able to marry it and create content that would even help her perchance when we start that her fashion line she's been hoping and praying for us to start. So I think that was a motivation for me, seeing that even in tech she was able to marry something she has always talked about. I was like, oh, I really need to work hard and make this a reality for her kiddies line.
Wow.
Then for Yoma, my last son, he's just 6. It has exposed him very well. There are some things I'm not even knowledgeable with, on the Google, creating Google meetings and so many other things. He knows how to create a folder, those small nitty-gritties that civil servants are not very conversant with. So I'm impressed he knows it and he'll be able to pass on the knowledge to me as well. I got very good value for what I paid for. Like I mentioned earlier, I wasn't so sure. I was like, what would they call digital appreciation and all. But I saw my son struggling, like I mentioned. So it's very commendable. I got much more than I bargained for actually. And that was why I was able to register my other kids, obviously. I would recommend tech school because for me, tech school is a core curricular activity, not an extra that needs to be embedded. So most times you can't get much of this in the school system. It has become compulsory, as an added co-curricular activity for our children, considering the present world of work. I said for them to be employable, and you mentioned for them to even create employment, So it's a knowledge that every child should start developing at this age. Hurry now before the classes get saturated, because I see tech school going to the next level, like real big, and to get to a point where you would have, I think when parents get to experience all of these, they'll be able to spread the word, and it gets to a point where, so for the kids, hurry while it's available. During the holidays, it was difficult. I was, because of the fuel crisis, I was just thinking the summer school, driving them to different places and getting back home. But tech school was able to help me keep my kids at home, organize them, and great value was added. So I'm grateful. Thank you to the management and everybody in tech school.